your information. I try to record all the classes. So if you're ever not here and you want to still do it later on, or you can always also receive the link. All right, yogis, let's come into a comfortable seat. This week, we were working with the solar plexus chakra. We have been going through the chakra system, which is just very nice to get a sense of a structure. And the chakra system, I think, you can really use it as a spiritual practice, or you can just see it as a method of self-inquiry, self-growth, and sometimes maybe be curious and ask questions about where you stand compared to certain elements of your mind and your body and your emotional world. So the solar plexus sits right on top of your belly button, kind of that place there where if you put your hands on your rib cage, there's a hole there, like a little triangle hole. You can feel that for yourself. That's where the solar plexus sits. All right, and then just close your eyes and place your hands somewhere comfortable on the body. And start to breathe nice and slow, nice and deep. The solar plexus is represented by the color yellow. So maybe you can visualize the color yellow or something yellow. It has everything to do with I do. So the root chakra had everything to do with I am, who you are, your identity, your roots, your upbringing. And then the sacral chakra of week number 2 had everything to do with your feeling, your emotional world, also a part to do with reproduction and sexuality. And then your I do is, what do you do? And the choices, the actions that you take, which obviously have to do with your identity, which have to do with your emotional world. And when we are balanced, we feel that what we do serves us or serves others. And then it's like a wheel or like a ball, that chakra. So it can turn a little bit too fast when it is out of balance. And out of balance might, for some people, mean that you tend to do too much, and then your risk is to be burned out. When the wheel is also not balanced, it might mean that you just struggle to do things that you'd like to do, that you feel a little bit demotivated, that you don't have energy, or just feel a little bit numb and slow towards life and towards certain things that you'd like to do for yourself. It just is it's when you observe yourself in that space, there is no judgment. It happens to all of us. We have rare, beautiful moments of balance, but then the next day something can just throw you off balance again, but it's the awareness. It's the awareness of your own tendencies. I know that my tendency is to do too much, and wherefore I create unnecessary stress, and where I feel I never do enough, where there's always something else to do. And even when I'm doing something, I'm already thinking about the next thing that I'm going to do, which is not really living in the present. And that's just an example of how I observe myself in that process. So when I feel that wheel is going to kind of go into a rat race, too busy kind of mindset, too busy kind of life, I just go, okay, let's add some yin to my life, some rest and recovery. And that's not just a yin practice, it's also yin activities of being rather than doing. All right, let's place our palms together in front of our heart and just sit still and take another 4 to 5 rounds of breath. Link to the solar plexus. Is there maybe something that you'd like to do, not only on your mat tonight, but maybe one little thing that you'd like to add into your life that serves you, that makes you a healthier, better version of yourself. Or maybe there's something that we would prefer to stop doing or doing less of, which is already in the right direction of maybe potentially one day totally not doing something that doesn't serve us. Set intention, or if you're new to setting intentions, then maybe a dedication. Dedicating your practice to someone you love is easier tonight. And then we bow our head towards our fingertips, just humbly and gratefully. Our first yoga pose is going to be a nice relaxing reclining Baddha Konasana. We are going to place something under your back. I've got this beautiful bolster. Now, Johan or any of the other yogis, if you don't have a bolster, you can also take a towel, a big beach towel, for example, and roll it up. It will be a little bit smaller than this, but it will also serve nicely. If you don't have a towel and you don't have a bolster, you may use a pillow. It's just a lot less high, so you get less of an opening in the heart space. So at the same spot, underneath your shoulder blades, you can put a pillow, you can put your towel in this direction, or you can put your bolster. Now, I know some of you might have quite stiff hips. In that case, you can even put 1 or 2 blocks next to your knees. So when the legs open, I don't have this, but I've noticed that for some people, the legs just really can't relax. So when you place something under them and they can rest on something, this is not equal height, so you would want two of the same things, so they have equal height. All right, and then just find that center. Feel if your neck is nice and relaxed, otherwise you can put something under your head. Relax your toes, and we'll stay here for 4 minutes. I'll be your timekeeper, so you can just lie still. So physically, we lie still. We do focus on our breath, nice and deep, slow breathing. You can breathe into the nose and out of the mouth. And if you want to give yourself a sense of meditation or something to do in your mind, I would love for you to, or I would suggest for you to stay with that solar plexus and maybe reflect on certain things on your life that serve you, which could be habits of eating and drinking, which could be morning routines, evening routines, certain relationships that serve you and certain relationships that don't. In a very simple, sad way, we can speak about Ayurveda, which is the science of life, which is the sister of yoga. Everything can kind of be categorized as being toxic or non-toxic, and we know it. So while you lie there still for another 2 minutes and 45 seconds, breathing slowly and deeply. Maybe let all of those words surrounding the I do linger and create your own individual picture of that. I'll let you know when it's time to move again. For now, just stay still and breathe. Stay with the breath, slow, deep breaths in and out. Notice your chest rise, your belly rise, full belly breaths, also called diaphragmatic breathing. So your diaphragm expands fully, which is really nice for stress release as well. Around 4 to 6 counts to breathe in, and around 6 to 8 counts to breathe out. Obviously, depending on how fast you count, maybe it's even 10 if you count really fast. That's a nice guideline, a slow 4 to 6 counts to breathe in. And a slow 6 to 8 counts to breathe out. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth if that feels nice. We've got a little more than half a minute here. Take a deep breath in together through the nose. Open the mouth and a lovely sigh. You can use your hands to close the legs so the knees come together and the soles of the feet touch your mat. And then roll off your block, your bolster, your pillow onto your sides. From your side, you slowly press yourself up back into a seated position. And you can extend your left leg to the side. So the foot, the sole of the foot is on the inside of the leg, also called Janu Shasana. Lovely. Now, if I would now go straight forward, my hips are kind of aimed in between my two knees. So I like to just scoop my hips a little bit. So that would be your right knee comes a little bit forward and you can look straight at the foot. Yeah, that's it. Take a deep breath in here. You can bring in your block or a pillow or stacked pillows. When in doubt, just put things on top of each other so you can let your head rest onto something. As soon as your head rests onto something, the neck and the shoulder muscles can start to relax. Some of you will have the hands next to the legs. Some of you will use a belt. So you can use a belt around the foot if you're really far away from the foot. It's totally fine. We all have different bodies. And we'll stay in for 3 minutes. Notice what you feel where. Where do you feel sensations in the body? Can you notice the breath slowing down and the movement, subtle movement of the body? So how the rib cage kind of floor open when you breathe in, the ribs of the rib cage, a little bit more space between each individual rib. A little bit of space between the top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth, so you can soften the skin on your face. And the solar plexus chakra also has a lot to do with your spine, the health of your spine. We'll be twisting, which is also detoxifying. So we're squeezing on the inside of your body. We will be kind of squeezing your organs. You might be thirsty after class because of it. It's like you take your liver, and it's like you take a cloth and you wring it out. So those twists, which we will be doing soon, will have that effect on your digestion, on your digestive system. But it's not just about physical digestion, also mental digestion. Thanks to yoga, you will hopefully find a place where you can mentally also cope with more, where thoughts and emotions do not control your life. You can just feel them, let them pass, let go and not attach to them. So very beneficial and healthy for your spine. Also very nice for your digestive system on both physical and a mental level. The more toxic things we bring into our body, whether that is physical or mental,
the harder and the more energy our body needs to digest and process all of that. So if we monitor and manage the intake of what we allow our eyes to see, our ears to hear, our mouth and our digestive system to take in, the easier and lighter and less toxic we make that, the more energy the body keeps for other things. Sleep, rest, proper rest. So yeah, it is more of a rejuvenating effect rather than a, yeah, how can you call it? I'm looking for a word in my head now. It's more constructive than destructive. That was what I was looking for. We've got around 3 to 4 more rounds of breath here. What can you soften on the next exhale? Slowly, take a deep breath in, feel the spine all the way up. And then you simply change sides. So your right leg can extend. Find your sit bones. Place your block or your pillow on the inside of the right leg. Then you can use that little bit of a scoop, that little bit of a readjustment of that knee and your hips. So you're facing your right foot. Find some length, take a breath in. Maybe you need more height. Remember, your right side and your left side, you'll be surprised. It's not exactly the same. So if you go here and you're like, hey, that's fascinating. On the other side, when I took my first breath, my head immediately touched the floor. Maybe on this side it's not the same. Then just give yourself that height and you'll see with time, your fascia, your connective tissue starts to let go, and we're creating space in the body and the mind. On this side, I'm going to let you be mostly in silence, just to also digest those words that I've just shared with you, for you to maybe translate that into your own life, into your own decision-taking and actions, choices that are toxic or non-toxic. Stay with the breath. I'll let you know when it's time to move again. Slow down your breath. And when you notice your mind wander, just go, oh, I forgot to consciously breathe. No problem, we'll just try again. And counting sometimes really helps. "45 seconds, slow deep breath. On the inhale, slowly roll the spine back up. Maybe feel some like stickiness or like, ooh, wow, that had a bit of an effect on my body. Specifically the first time you might go like, ooh, my body is not, suddenly you discover muscles you didn't even know existed. Let's come into child's pose. So bring your toes together to the back of your mat, your knees nice and wide. If this is too much for you, then just place something in between your hips like a pillow, and then you can give yourself some height. If it feels that it's straining too much, either around the knees or the front of the feet. And in our child's pose, we're going to add a little twist. So our left arm is going to thread. It's called a thread the needle. The right arm, so there's two options with the right arm. Either you reach the right arm to the top of the mat, or the right hand later can look and find the inside of the left thigh. But let's start with the left hand. The palm is facing up. Your left ear comes down towards the floor. You reach those left fingers towards the left. We'll stay here for 2 minutes. So choose the option with the right hand. Either it's reaching to the top. You can even place it on the sacrum or loop the fingers to the inside of the left thigh. If it feels like it's straining your neck, you might have to put something under your face, a little height, a little pillow, or a little part you can fold your towel. Yin is about making it comfortable for yourself. And what is comfortable is where you can breathe freely, but you do kind of sense a sensation somewhere, probably around the hips and around that left shoulder, but the breath is free and slow and deep. And there's a sense of surrender and softness on each exhale, a sense of letting go. 1 more minute in stillness. Stay with the breath. Around 3 more rounds of breath here. Slowly release the right hand if it's hooked. Let's walk it to the top. Release your thread, the needle. And then just bring your knees closer to each other so they're touching. Embryo's pose. You might need a little pillow for your head if that feels nicer. And let your hands just be next to your feet. For me, it's nicer to have my head on the floor. Just as an option. We'll stay here for just 5-6 rounds of breath. Soften your shoulders. Maybe notice the difference between the right and the left shoulder. Because there was a bit of an asymmetrical shape there in the upper parts of your body. Lovely. Slowly roll up the spine. When we come into a 90-90, so it's like a half pigeon. So you bring your right knee. You can actually even come onto your hands and your feet if that is easier. Then bring that right knee to the top of the mat. I'm wearing dark pants on a dark mat, so that's not smart. Let me just show you here, just so you see the alignment of the knees. I'm going to show you like that. So your right knee, I think that's better, yeah. There's a right 90 degree in your right knee, your front knee. Also a 90 degree in the other knee. Let me actually go like this because then I'm mirroring you. Yeah, 90 in your right knee, 90 in your left knee. Now you feel you're falling over to your right side. So there the scooping comes in. You use your left hand to just bring some lift up, lift your bum up and bring some meat underneath your sit bone. Yeah, and then you feel you're more straight on top of your sit bone. Maybe do that another couple of times, and then you can come straight forward. Before you go all the way down, we have an option here to thread the needle as well. I find it a little bit too much, but you may. And then you just later on, or maybe already, do that same thing as you did in your child's pose. You may, you don't have to. All right, where's my watch? There. 3 minutes here. This is also at the same time a hip opener. So you might find that you feel quite strong sensations around your hips. If you want to still use this space as well for a bit of self-reflection, a bit of self-inquiry, remember the solar plexus, the things you do in your life, the things you'd like to do more of, like to do less of. What are your tendencies and your habits when you feel a little restless or imbalanced? Do you feel that you're the kind of person that then struggles to kind of be motivated? We, from a central nervous point of view, call that you become a bit too much in the parasympathetic. So you really just, you don't really have a start button anymore. It's hard to kickstart your life, your whole being. Other people don't have a stop button. Maybe you're very balanced. It's called sattvic. Maybe you feel very balanced and that's fine. But it's lovely to have those tools to just be able to know that it's normal to sometimes get into that space. And you have tools available to you to find balance again. We're halfway. We'll stay still to the end. Enjoy the movement and the sound of your breath. The music, if you're listening to music. "20 seconds to go, slowly breathing. If you are in a pretzel, if you are in a thread the needle, bring it out and we come onto our elbows. And we bring our hands back under our shoulders. Roll to that right side of the buttock. And just come lie down on your back for a moment. Just lie still. Feel the right hip, the left hip. You can place your palms up next to your body, or you can have your palms rest on your body, a sense of touch, of allowing your hands to touch your own body, to have a connection. And just 4 more rounds of breath here. Lovely. It would be great if you have a strap here. If you don't have a yoga strap, you know, it looks very similar to a belt. A leather belt might be a bit on the rough side. If you don't have a belt yet, another suggestion that I want to do is, you know, when you're wearing your bathrobe to go to the bathroom, then that often also has a belt. That's nice soft material. That could be a good alternative. And then we start with on your back. So, because I know you're looking now, so you can choose to have that left leg extend. But if your lower back is quite sensitive, it is way nicer to place that foot flat on the floor. And this doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. So just pick the option that is most comfortable for you. And then bring the belt around the sole of the foot. Or actually, I like to bring it more around the ball of the foot. And then you place your hands somewhere on the belt where your shoulders can be flat on the floor. And the foot is right above your knee, the knee is above the hip. You may pull it closer and just see where you start to feel something. And I know for lots of us that sit in the office a lot, this is quite tricky. I used to do a lot of exercise. My legs used to shake a lot. It just started to shake because it's resistance that's in the body. So if that happens, you can back off a little bit and it's totally fine. It's not dangerous or anything. It's just a bit uncomfortable. I used to find it quite uncomfortable. It doesn't happen anymore. So that will also disappear. 2 minutes here and we'll add on a twist after. For now, just stay where you are. Feel free to close your eyes. Let your belly rise and fall. A nice sigh out of the mouth is always welcome. Notice what you feel where. Notice the breath move through the nostrils, through the throat, filling up the lungs, expanding your chest, your belly. Now everything softens, air back out of the lungs, through the throat, and probably nicest with our yin out of the mouth. One more minute here before we add on our twist. Slow, deep breaths in and out. Notice your inhale. Notice when you're exhaling. Soften the skin on your face. From here, we add on a twist. So what you do is you bring your left hand, you hold on to both sides of the strap. You might want to give yourself some space by bringing the hand a little bit lower. Your right arm will reach to the right. So you feel that the right shoulder blade is on the floor, and then your right leg is going to move over to the left side. I like to place a block, and it might be the block and a pillow for my foot to rest on. Yes. Now you can even add a twist with your neck by turning your head towards the right side. 3 minutes here. This is a big twist, yogis. So rest. Know that you can always back up, bringing the leg more towards the back of your mat, so that I mean away from your face, makes it less strenuous for most of us. You can also decide to bend the right knee and not use the strap, if that's nicer for you. All right, let me put this timer for us. 3 minutes starting now. Soften, let that right shoulder become heavy and melt down towards the floor. If you have a long back line, you might not need to strap, and you can place your left hand around the pinky side of the foot. But probably most of us will use the strap. I'm just giving you different options, different people, different options. The most important question you can ask yourself is, am I still smiling? Yes or no? And the answer is hopefully yes. And can I breathe slowly and freely? Otherwise, just adapt, just amend. Find your shape within the shape and soften. Soften something on the exhale. Let go. Let your body feel your body feel heavy. Any resistance, notice it. And soften that area. Halfway. Deep breaths. Fill up that right lung. Fill up that belly. Fill up that left lung as well. The right lung has a bit more space. It probably feels more spacious on the right side of the body. You might also feel the left rib cage softly press into the mat when you breathe in. And then just softly breathe out. Two more rounds of breath here, 2-3 more rounds of breath here. And then let go of your belt or your foot, bend your right knee. Ooh, and slowly roll onto your back. Both feet onto the mat. Scoop your hips so you feel centered and symmetrical. Bring the feet as wide as the mat, and then let the knees touch each other on the inside of the knee. Just take a moment here. Feel the ripple effect, whatever you notice. Notice it, and then let go of that thought, emotion, or sensation in the body. We call this a rebound, the space in between poses, where we kind of Give our bodies the opportunity to reflect, to feel whatever is going on, to integrate. Give yourself a nice big hug. Bring your knees in, arms around the shins. And then roll to the side. We'll do all of that on the other side. I'm going to be on this side of my mat, but you can just keep facing the screen. We start with our child's pose. I feel like a child that has put their toys everywhere. When I was with my sisters as well, with these kids, it's like, how can you make a living room look so chaotic? But I feel a bit the same when I do YIN. It's like, oh, all my stuff is everywhere. Our props are our toys. All right, so we come into the child's pose with the thread, the needle. It's your right arm that's going to look under and through. Remember, your left arm can go to the top, or you can lift your chest, bring the fingers on the inside of the right thigh. Now set the timer for us for 2 minutes here. Let your head rest, let it be somewhere where it's comfortable. And now notice that there's quite a lot of space for your belly to kind of relax here. If you think of the image of the Buddha, it has a lovely big belly, a happy belly. Let the belly hang out. It's rare that we do that, but it's nice to relax your diaphragm, to relax and also give your organs some space, even though we're softly twisting. Stay with the breath. Feel free to close your eyes, withdrawing one of your senses so you can connect with the other senses more. Feeling, tasting, hearing, smelling. For 40 seconds here, slow deep breaths, be soft and still. Nice, yogis, looking good. Slowly bring that left hand back in front of your face. And then we immediately come to that other shape, which was of 90-90. Left knee, if you need to come onto hands and toes. If it helps you lift so you can bring that left leg to the front, do so. It's lovely here how you can use the references of your mat. So the short edge and the long edges of your mat as a reference of that 90. So that top left corner of your mat is a 90 degree, which is translated here in the left knee. And the same thing for that kind of top corner. This long edge of the mat is parallel to this thigh, this calf. And then we'll do the scooping, up, and the meat comes under your sit bone. Yeah, use that right hand. Lovely. Feel if this is all right for you. And then we'll come forward. Remember that you can add on a thread the needle here. With the right arm again. Same direction as we did on the other sides. So on our physical body, we are twisting, creating space in the spine. Well, here we're also creating space in our hips. Stimulating our digestion through our lovely deep breathing. This is really good for your central nervous system, for calming down, for creating a bit of softness and calmness. Mentally, you can keep yourself entertained by reflecting on the solar plexus. Maybe commit after practice. Write something down for yourself, one thing that you want to do, or something that you want to do less, more of, or even eliminate from your life. Simply for the simple fact that it serves you. It serves your well-being. It serves your health, which is our priority, apart from, I guess, love and health are the two most important things for a purposeful and happy life, I'd say. Be healthy and surround yourself by loving, kind people. Slowly breaths in and out. The color yellow, what do you see when you think of the color yellow? Let it linger, also stimulating that sense of solar plexus connection. Remember where it sits in your body, just above your belly button. Can you breathe towards that space, even though it's challenging here in the twist? I know it is a bit challenging. Take a couple more deep breaths in and out, a little less than a minute to go. Soften the tongue inside your mouth. Maybe this side is more challenging. Maybe you feel that you reach that edge quicker. I do. I feel it now. While on the other side, I feel I could have stayed a little longer. That's okay. That's all right. Just an awareness. And slowly, if you are in that thread the needle, bring your elbows centrally under your shoulders, hands under your shoulders, and then come lie on your back. I'm going to flip to the other side because I've got that wall here. You'll need your belt and potentially your block in your pillow. So place the pillow and the block on the right side of your body. It can also be a bolster, huh? And then come lie onto your back. Remember that it's an option to extend the right leg along the floor. A less intense option for the lower back is to bend your right knee, strap to the sole, to the ball of the left foot. You can use both hands. You can even use one if you prefer. Now let's do both because we also did both on the other side. 2 minutes here. Can you let the top of your shoulders kind of soften and melt down towards the floor? So the upper back is totally in touch with the floor. And then you can also lift your head for a second and then bring your chin a little closer to your chest. It's called Jalandhara, lengthening the back of your neck. If you have a head that falls back a lot, you can always place something under your head so the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Not halfway there. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go. Stay with the breath. Feel free to close your eyes. How slow can you breathe? Can you stay still? Bring the strap, both sides of the strap into your right hand. You might just have to see where you need to place that block or the pillow. Let the leg fall over. So here you can bend your left knee up. If that feels way more comfortable, do something that's comfortable, where you can feel that you're nurturing yourself. Extend your left arm towards the side. You can even turn your face towards the side. And then once you're in the shape, you can let go and just be. Just be. Option to hook the right hand to the outside of the left foot. So many variations. And then we commit to stillness. We probably feel some sort of edge, a sweet point where, yes, we feel stretch and sensations. And then we stay still and we just allow time for it to do its magic, its healing magic, together with the breath. 2 more minutes here, last shape before Shavasana. Halfway, stay with the breath. Staying still is sometimes more challenging than running around. I know that when I get to that point where I feel a little uncomfortable in the stillness, I start to fiddle with my nails, or start to fiddle with my toes, and also becoming aware that you're doing that. It's okay, there's no judgment. You go, oh, why am I fiddling? Let's stay still. Let's stay with the breath. 40 seconds here. One more deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Bend your left knee, softly draw it back towards the center. Scoop your shoulders, scoop your hips, and now ask yourself the question if your space is nice and comfortable, quiet, so you don't have any distractions. And then you have 2 options. One is a traditional Shavasana. A bolster under the knees is always welcome. Or if you have the space, a leg up the wall can also be quite nice. This is where you scoop your hips against the wall. This is very nice if you sit in the office a lot. Or if you fly. After flying, this is the best thing to do, to just lie like this for like 10-15 minutes to let it all drain. So those are the 2 options, and we'll do a 3-minute Shavasana together. If you have the luxury of time and you want to stay longer, it's very healing. So just lie still and relax. I'll be your timekeeper. I'll let you know when it's potentially time to move again. But I'll also give you the option to just stay and relax after that. Stillness, Shavasana, let go. Nothing to do, just to be. So as I said before, if you have more time to stay a little longer, do so. Just do so. I mean, worst thing, you fall asleep, and that's also okay. You can put a timer on your clock or on your phone. That's another 5 minutes or so, just to sit, to lie back here, or maybe even to say the meditation. Otherwise, we will slowly start to wake up the body again after that nice little rest, the passive rest. And then to wake up your body, you just start with small movements of your fingers and your toes. You can keep your eyes closed for now. And from there, you stretch your arms overhead, point and flex your feet. Nice. Start to bring the knees closer in towards your chest. You can hug your arms around your knees. Wiggle a little from right to left, left to right. And then roll to the side. And from the side, we come back up to a seated position. Karina loves the long shavasana. I love how she loves the long shavasana. So I see she's already left the meeting. Such a beautiful girl. She's really taking her time in her practice as well. And then we can just come to that still seat for just a couple more conscious breaths, because we breathe all day long. But these beautiful, beautiful conscious breaths where you really connect to your body. That breath anchors you into the body. And I think it's the most beautiful tool or awareness that yoga has created for me. That breath is always there for me. When I feel triggered, when I feel that I'm in the car and I'm frustrated or something is happening, I'm going, okay, let's breathe. Just take a couple of breaths. And I know that it will calm me down. Thanks for doing the being today. That sounds a bit weird, but thanks for doing. Thanks for doing yoga. Thanks for doing yin yoga today with me. That is a very healing practice for your body, your mind, your heart, and your soul. From a very grateful heart to your beautiful, unique hearts. Namaste.